Junkie Nation, we're at it again. Gorgeous Georgia goes, delivering another MMA superstar for you. This time it's UFC middleweight champion, Israel Adesanya. What's up, Izzy? How are you?
Very well. I'm very well. Long time no see.
It's been a minute. We're happy to have you on right now. And I said it's been a minute, but we're happy to have you on now.
Oh, thank you. It would have been better if I could come back in the studio. I feel it would, without all this COVID bullshit, it would have been like a nice full circle thing. Because I came to you guys when I just got signed, so it would have been cool if I was back in the studio. I can't remember what casino with you guys, but yeah, it would have been cool if we could do that right now. But fucking COVID, eh?
Fucking COVID is right, and it's all because of so we're at the Mandalay Bay usually, and you're right. We were with you December of 2017. You hadn't even fought in the UFC yet. Less than 3 years later, look at the trail of destruction that you left behind.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. I've just been enjoying the fruits, but also working towards the next goals, the next lofty goals that I've set for myself. And back then, I think it was Stitch on one of you, might have been you or Stitch, that said, like, man, you know, I feel like there's something here, like something different. I can remember it vividly. And in my head at the time, I was like, you know, just hold my beer. But, yeah, I mean, now I'm here. So, like I said, hold my beer. The next step, the next few moves are going to be nice on the chessboard.
What are those goals? Can you share them?
Of course. I mean, they're kind of public already now. My next fight, I've signed to fight for the 205 belt, and I'm going to headline at Allegiant Stadium eventually in July 2021. Pray to God this whole COVID shit is out the way at the time, so that way I can really rock the house. And yeah, there's more, but I'll just little bits and pieces at a time.
I'm glad you brought up Allegiant Stadium. I actually asked you about that before the Yoel Romero fight, and I remember you saying you drive by that thing and you've already pictured yourself. You already pictured the opponent. So I'm glad that you're holding off on that because you're a stadium champion, you know, or you're a prize fighter that needs to be fighting big fights in a stadium. But I feel like the UFC is starting to turn out some of these big fights sooner rather than later because of the pandemic. Are you going to tap the brakes on some of those? Or if they ask you, will you just continue to fight with no audience?
I don't mind. I like fighting with no audience, but that fight in particular, I want there to be an audience. But if there's no audience for that fight as well, I don't mind. But I just feel it'll be glorious. It'll be glorious in a packed stadium with 75,000 people, you know. But yeah, I don't mind. I kind of like, you know, the last fight where you can hear the crispness of the strikes, the impact of the leg kicks, the shots. Sounded like gunshots, you know. So, yeah, either way is good for me, but we'll see how things go.
And notice how neither one of us has said the name. We both know, and I know the audience, the hardcore audience, will know the name. But I got a question for you regarding that matchup. You then, by the time this thing does happen, will you be the A side?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I'm already the A side. I'm the guy that's actually active. I'm the guy that's actually fighting. I was trying to fight again this year, but my teammates have some big fights coming up. One of mine just whooped ass and got his contract in the UFC. Carlos Alberg and Junior Foss fighting Joseph Parker in New Zealand in his biggest fight yet. So I feel Eugene should focus more attention on them, and they need Eugene's expertise. So I'll take a step back and let my teammates get some work too. So, but yeah, you know. I mean, we're doing big things, man. We're doing big things.
Izzy, when it comes to Jan Blachowicz, whenever we're talking about pound for pound guys and legacy, one thing we always bring up is just fighters going up in weight or going down, testing themselves. How much of this fight has to do with you building the future of your legacy?
Oh, a lot. Definitely catching that belt will definitely add to my legacy. Jumping up in weight, that would definitely add to my legacy, you know. I could just stay at middleweight and clean everyone up, you know. But I've done it in boxing, I've done it in kickboxing, so I'm gonna do it in MMA as well. And that's my next fight. And I mean, like, it's almost 3 years in the company, and look what I've done. And now I'm about to move up in weight and grab another one.
Is there any chance that if you go up in weight and you love it, you just stay there?
Nah, not really. I'm gonna come back down. 185 is easy for me to make. I make 185 like it's nothing. I'm even underweight at most of my weigh-ins, so it's not like it's a struggle for me to make 185. That's my perfect fighting weight. 205 is just fun and games. It's fun and games, but I don't know. It is fun and games in the way that I make it look easy, but it's work. Like it's a challenge. It's what like drives me. It gets like, oh yeah, I like doing things that many people would run away from. When people run away from the fight, I run towards it.
After you guys fight, you get to hear our opinions on the fighters. And we all felt like Robert Whittaker had a pretty decent performance and has strung along a nice little streak. But really, I guess the only opinion that matters is yours. What did you think of Robert Whittaker? Did he do enough to impress you from that last performance?
That's, it is subjective. To be honest, no. If I'm being honest, and I'm, like me and Robert have a really honest relationship. He's said, I don't like the guy. And I'm like, cool. I don't like him either. There's no like weird animosity. There's no emotion, nothing. I just don't like him. But I can be honest in the fact to say that I wasn't too impressed with the performance. He did well. Don't get me wrong, but I wasn't impressed to the point where it's like, oh fuck, okay, let me get this guy again. Let me like he looked like if he went in there and like literally fucked up Cannonier in a way that was mind blowing and then finished him, it might have got me like looking at him different, like, oh okay, you've changed already. But it didn't really light that spark like that. I just feel like it'd be the same thing again, so it doesn't really get me jazzed up. So, and then yeah, he's got other things on the horizon. So let him get his work. Let him do his thing, and I can do my thing as well.
I was just about to ask you that. Mm-hmm. From day one when we met you, it seemed like you've always enjoyed challenges, things that bring you up. Rematches. I don't know if that would be so much your thing. How do you feel about rematches itself?
Sorry, carry on. I interrupted you. My bad.
No, I was saying rematches in general. How do you feel about them? Like, is there a possibility that fighting Robert Whittaker again so soon wouldn't get you as amped up that normal as you were used to?
Well, it would. I mean, like, I'm sure I'll see him again. Like he said, and I kind of agree with him in the sense that we'll see each other again. But this time it'll be on my terms. It'll be on my terms, on my field. I'll have home court advantage, if that's even a thing, in fighting. But yeah, like, I think I'll see him again. Just when is yet to be decided. But I feel like down the line we'll see each other again because he's that good. He's that good that I feel he'll do the right things to get back up there. But like I said, this last fight didn't really make me go, oh shit. All right, let's fight this guy again. I didn't really do that for me. It was kind of like, oh, nice win. Yeah.
Izzy, I got a question for you regarding three superstars that exited the sport this year. Cejudo, Khabib, Cormier, actually four, it is four, and Anderson Silva. Did them exiting make you think about anything regarding just planning the future? Are you even thinking about that? Because, a couple of them left at your age and sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I don't know if them exiting made me look at, my exit strategy, but I've planned this game for so long, George. I've planned this game and I kind of understand where I want to go with this. So I've had a plan for a while. So what happened this year with those four didn't really affect my plans. I already had my plan set with what I'm going to do after fighting and the feeling I'm going to have before I exit. I don't have a set date or something, but I have a time frame. But I know the feeling. I feel like I can stay on top and be on top for so years, and then I'm like, right, peace, and I'm out. I just ghost everyone.
Is being undefeated super important? That part of that plan, part of that exit?
No, it's not. That's just another one of those things that people try and put on you. But I'm like, bro, I've had losses in my past, but it never really changed who I am. It never changed the fact that I'm a great fighter. A lot of the greats have had losses, and every time I had a loss, I always come back and knock someone out. But nah, being undefeated is just a title. Like, it's just another one of those titles that people try and like hold up like it's something. But I mean, fuck, you should see me in the gym. Some days I get my licks, so I know I can be beat. But when it's under the lights, when the pressure's on the biggest stage, and I'm having fun, bro, I'm a hard man to beat. So yeah, I'm just gonna ride this out the way I've been riding it so far, and yeah, stay tuned.
Are your plans having to do at all with stuff that happens outside the cage and outside your athletic career, or do they have to do with like goals, records, conquering divisions, things like that?
Both, definitely. I mean, I'm ready for anything, but for me, when I start a family, I want to be there for my kids. I feel like I don't want to be, that I want to be a stay-at-home dad, if I'm being honest. Like, I just want to be the cool dad that just hangs out with his kids all day, takes them to activities, school, all that kind of stuff, the playground, and just kick it and have my little buddies I just hang around with. And I want to have the time to do that. So I don't want to be, all right, son, all right, baby, I'm going to see you, in 3 weeks, and then talk to them on the phone. I've seen people go through that. I've seen some of my coaches go through that. I've seen some of my friends go through that. And it's just, like I said, I'll handle it. Don't worry, I'm a fucking champ. But I want to be there for my kids. So I want to make sure I get everything done and then dedicate my life solely to my kids, solely to my family. And I already have passive income by then, so I don't even have to work really. I'll have things set up that'll just be paying me every week or every day. And yeah, I'm working steady, but right now I'm focused on fighting, so I don't have any distractions. I don't have no kids nowhere, allegedly, maybe, who knows. But yeah, no child support coming from my pocket. No, but yeah, right now I'm just focused on fighting. I'm focused on kicking ass and taking names.
Izzy, as you can tell by my old school Adidas kit here, I'm an older guy. I've seen a lot of sports heroes over time, and I think money is obviously a great thing for you to be able to take care of your family and everything. But I've noticed money can change people. 3 years ago, we met you, humble, cool. You shared your dreams, your goals, and now you've actually hit so many of them. But I watch you, and I'm not saying don't enjoy it or none, but I see the slick sports cars. Of course, I'm jealous. And I see the cool threads and the bling. But tell me, has that changed you at all? Do the guys at the gym or the coach Eugene ever say, hey, you're changing a little bit?
Nah, I mean, my team always keeps me in check just because it's just the culture of where we live and how we are. They always keep me in check. So, I mean, if it had changed me, I wouldn't be here right now. I feel too good to be here for my teammate who actually just secured his contract. And then I feel too good to have to go through another 2-week quarantine when I head back to New Zealand. If it had changed me, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be like, why do I have to go? I mean, can't you send so-and-so? Here, I'll pay for them to go. Like, you know what I mean? But it hasn't changed me. I'm still me. I've evolved. Always evolved. But never switch up the energy. I'm still the same person. I'd never switch up the energy.
By the way, I wore this because I knew you were coming on. I don't wear it too often, but I was a big fan of the Super Eagles back in the 90s when they would play in the World Cup. Shout out to JJ Okacha and Finity George. Yeah. Were you influenced by any of those superstars back in the day as well?
I'll be honest, no, because I didn't really care about sports. I just liked playing, and I sucked at sports, so I wasn't influenced. But I was influenced by the buzz they brought. Like when they won I think in 1995 they won the World Cup, if I believe, and I remember just our whole street just partying till the break of dawn, everyone going crazy, and on TV, I think Rashidi Yakini running to the net and grabbing the net. Like that iconic video, I can remember it. Yeah, it just things like that definitely stick with you. Like little gems like that stick with you. But it wasn't like I watched them and like idolized them or anything. But the feeling they created, the buzz they created for the people, I'll never forget that. Like if people forget what you do but they never forget how you made them feel.
Yeah, it's a good way of putting it. And then I also asked you this 3 years ago, and I wanted to see if anything's changed. We talk about stadiums, and obviously New Zealand is way ahead of the curve in terms of COVID-19. You guys have already had rugby games in stadiums. I'd love to see you here at Allegiant. That way I can get there in 10 minutes and be home in 10 minutes. But remember, I don't know if you remember, I mentioned Muhammad Ali fighting in Zaire. You know, like, is that closer to becoming a reality, you going back to Africa, to Nigeria, or just maybe another country in Africa and doing the same thing?
100%. It's going to happen. That'll definitely happen before I retire. And we've talked about it. We've put it out there. It's in the works. It's definitely in the works. But yeah, the state of the world right now kind of just holding a lot of things back. But it's definitely going to happen. And I'm telling you, once a lot of these African kids catch on to MMA, I've said this before, it's going to be like 50 Cent when he dropped in the club and then just shut down the rap game for like 8 years. Like, it's just going to be over. Like, because that's the thing with MMA. There's always like a country that dominates for a while. You know, whether it be Brazil, Japan, America, New Zealand, you know what I mean? But then eventually, when Nigerians, like, we got 2 fucking Nigerians that are champions right now, you know? And there might be soon to be 3 Africans that are champions right now. So eventually, when we catch on to this whole COVID shit, I even fuck this COVID shit. Like, already I get tagged in like clips of kids hitting the bag, training jiu-jitsu, and just like learning. They're just watching and learning, and we're smart people. And luckily for the power of the internet now, information can be shared like videos. So my people are going to catch on quick and evolve faster than you've ever seen in the history of the sport. And when that happens, fuck, it's game over, man. Like, everyone just has to take a back seat for a while the Africans run everything.
You don't have to tell me, brother. I've seen Hakeem Olajuwon in basketball in the 90s. I've seen a lot of NFL players that have made it from Africa as well. And it sounds like you gave us an early prediction on Ngannou and Miocic. Was that the implication there?
100%. I feel like Ngannou in that first fight was in love with his power. You know, he knew if he touched people, they'd go to sleep. He knew that. So he's learned from that first fight, and I feel, you know, he's grown from it. He's grown from it. I've talked to him personally, and I know what he's capable of, and he's a guy that, you know, yeah, you don't want to get touched by. You do not. But now he knows. He's smart. He's a smart fighter, and yeah, I can't wait. I'm rooting for the brother.
Lastly, let's just finish up with a couple outside the box questions. In regards to New Zealand and how well they've handled COVID, and I know they just reelected the same lady as prime minister. What have been your thoughts? You've been in the United States as the election has taken place, and I'm sure you've seen just in the MMA world how split everybody is. You know, do you even have an opinion on just how politics might be different and probably is different than New Zealand?
For me, I don't really follow politics. I put a meme up yesterday with one of the Rothschilds, and it said something like, when the Deb slaves are arguing about who's going to run the plantation, and he's just sipping like something. For me, it just feels like when I watch politics, it's like me watching the sport, or everyone like you know, like, it's kind of like the Super Bowl or even soccer, like the World Cup. And I'm just, you know, people are like picking their teams, both sides, and I'm just on the outside like, okay. Like, that's how it feels for me. And I don't know, man. This politics is just, I've never really gravitated towards it. I don't really watch the news. It's a weird thing to say. I know but this doesn't affect me. I don't feel like, you know, choosing between Lucifer and Satan is gonna affect my life. Like, you know what I mean? It's not gonna like change the way I spend my money. It's not gonna change anything about how I make my money. But yeah, I'm honestly privileged to be in New Zealand, and even being here in the States right now and looking at the landscape of things. I'm glad to be getting out of here before the Civil War starts. But we'll see. Yeah, but we'll see all the way from New Zealand. And I pray for America, man, because this is a cool country. Like, regardless of all the bullshit, racism, systematic racism that's just ingrained in the culture, like, individually, when I meet people, like, okay, I'll share a story with you. I just came back from the doctor, right, to get my thing checked out, like a follow-up. And in the elevator, this lady and her 2 kids walked in holding all these books. And I could see initially, like, they were nervous. And I stood back. It's a big elevator. And it was real quiet going down. Slow elevator as well. And what did I say? I made a comment, like, just to break the ice. And then we all just relaxed. And then we had a conversation, like, for about maybe 2 minutes. And it was just real cool. That interaction could have been just as awkward as it was, and just like, we all just sitting in this soup of awkwardness and just, But when I made the move to break the ice, they were receptive, and it was beautiful. Just a quick interaction for about a minute and a half or so. And yeah, I feel like people are this is everything. Love, just love, like, and being nice, being kind. I could have had some agenda and just be like, oh, fuck these people. They looked at me sideways, so fuck them. But I just made the effort to, like, be nice, and they were able to relax around me. The kids were able to talk to me and make jokes, And I don't know, man. I'm blabbering on now, but it was just a nice little interaction and a nice learning moment for myself, even just to revise and remind myself that, we're all in this together, and not everyone's against you, or you're not against the world. And it's just like, just try and be nice. But if I try and be nice and they're not nice back, well, that's their loss, isn't it?
You're a true gentleman, champ. Man, that's a great story. I only wish those kids would have known that the UFC middleweight champion was the guy that was talking to him at that moment.
I don't think they'll ever know, but I mean, I'm cool with that. I like living anonymously, like Spider-Man.
That's because you're 31 and I'm 51, and as you get older, you get sappier and you remember those moments. So, maybe the kids will see you on an elevator on the trip in tomorrow or something.
Yeah, no, I do like creating those moments, especially with Uber drivers. Like, when they figure out who I am, like, it's weird how, like, just me being in their car can bring so much joy to someone, and I'm just like, fuck. Like, he's super excited. Like, really, I brought a lot of joy. And this guy's like, man, this is the best day ever. I got to meet Stylman, and that sticks with me. And I'm like, man, just me riding the Uber with this guy silently. And then at the end, he had to ask me, like, wait, are you? And I pulled the mask, and it's like, oh my God. It happened a few times on this trip, but it feels good to just bring good feelings to people. I don't know. Or just by just being yourself. If you can do that, cool. And you leave them a nice big tip as well, just to say thank you, just for being cool. Yeah.
10 years ago, I got to meet Roberto Duran. I was shaking, as an adult. Yeah, because he was my hero in the 80s. And then I remember I went on a military trip with Uriah Faber, and little girls were, like, crying to meet when they were meeting him. So you guys do have an effect.
Exactly. But I have to just realize that sometimes, because sometimes it can be crazy when fans are just rude and disrespectful, and their manners and respect go out the window because of this whole clout thing. Like, they see someone like, oh, I want to take something from you. But when they're respectful, when people are respectful to me, I give them even more time. Even if I don't have the time, I'll give them a little bit more time, just because I like the fact that they were respectful of my space. But when they just like, oh my God, and just like trying to take from you, like they want to take, and I'm like, bro, I don't owe you shit. And there's always that, bro, the fans pick. Shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. No, you don't. You fucking try to watch that shit on pirated fucking websites. Don't fucking try and tell me shit. I just want manners and respect, man. Like, treat me like a human being, and I'll treat you the same. So, yeah, like I said, just be nice. It feels good. And I'm fucking sappy right now. You keep saying it, but like, it costs $0 to be nice, and it feels good for you too.
Yep. No, I love it, man. I love it. Don't feel that way at all. No one's gonna call you that. That's for sure.
I don't want to be a preachy type guy. What is that? See, believe, achieve.
Yeah. I want to thank you so much for the time today. We really appreciate it. Great catching up with you. Congrats on all your success. I can see that it's not even halftime of your game. I think there's way more success that is still coming your way.
Boom! Oh, George, I'm coming for all the heads. Everything.
Oh, the last one was, what was coaching like against Carlos? I mean, did you feel the nerves? That was your boy. I know he's a teammate. close teammate of yours. I heard an interview you did where he's a guy that gives you great rounds, but were you nervous or?
I wasn't nervous. Like I dealt with the pressure the way I deal with my fights. So I just kind of like surrender, like, cool, we've done the work, we'll get it done. But then there was a bit in the fight where I needed some more urgency from him, and I kind of let out the urgency in my voice. I didn't panic or anything, but I kind of let him know, like, I can't remember what I said, but I said it when I remember the tone, like, but luckily Brad was there, the yin and yang, he was calm, and I had to let him know the urgency, like, you need to move, you need to stay sharp, and like, I had this urgency in my voice, so that's when it came out, the nerves a little bit, but it was good, because he needed it at the time, and yeah, afterwards, you could see I was so relieved, I was just like, oh, fuck, because when I'm fighting, I can control what I do, but when it's other people, and people you care about, it's fucking palm sweaty, mom spaghetti, the whole nine. Yeah.
Love it. All right, man. Thanks again. Safe travels tomorrow back to New Zealand. Congrats to your teammate Carlos, and thanks again for the time.